the 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 reason for this mock interview is because the project which I'm currently working on is not having much technical work, just taking care of some support incidents, not much coding work I have. So it's been a year. I wanted to evaluate myself, so that's why I found this top mate in the YouTube channel. I saw your videos, so I
Mm-hmm.
registered.
Okay. So let me share the links with you so you can share your screen. So we'll
Okay.
start. So you working in Angular itself right now, correct?
Yes, yes.
You can share your screen. And
Okay, just a second. Share screen.
I have pasted the link in the chat. You can
Yeah,
open.
I have opened the link. You're able to see it?
Yeah, yeah, I can see. And this is for code play. So play code. So if you want to test something, then we can test it over there. On the chat.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So okay. So we'll start with first, JavaScript. Okay. Then we'll move
Okay, sure.
maybe Angular some of the questions.
Okay.
Okay. So some of the arrow function.
Yes, arrow functions.
Yep. Right.
It's a function like, without name, we can directly send it as an callback without any name of a function.
Okay. Can you write down over there?
Sure. So it will be like this. We can do.
Okay. And if I want to give the name of that function, then how can I give?
Sorry, which
If I want to give the name of this function, so how can I give this name?
name?
So you meant to say that arrow function doesn't have name.
Yeah, in Angular, when we try to subscribe with inside a callback function, we write no. So subscribe or any callback function that we write, we can directly use it as this arrow function. There we don't
We're talking
give as
about
a name.
JavaScript, not.
Okay. So let me try. I hope I think this is correct. I guess I'm not sure.
That's fine. That's
Okay, we
correct.
call it like this.
No, that's correct.
Okay.
Okay. So let me paste something. See, I have this function, arrow function over here. Okay. And
Okay.
I'm calling it. Okay.
Okay.
What it will print basically.
Yes. Probably the function itself, the instance. This means the instance actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it will print uh, the function itself, I think.
Okay. And if it is a normal function, then
I'm not sure.
no. So question is that how this behaves in arrow function and normal function.
Okay, okay. This function, the argument this you're asking about. Not sure on that one. I'll check on it.
Yeah. Please check that as well.
Yes, yes, yes. Note it down.
Okay. Okay. So we'll move to the next question.
Okay.
Can you open that another link? I will paste some code over here. So
You shared a new link or? Okay.
open that
Yeah.
link
Okay, got it, got it.
and add this code over there. Just create this object over there, which I have pasted another link. Open that code share link. Code share.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Copy this object, nested object.
Okay. You want me to copy it there?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Remove everything from here and paste it.
Okay.
You can remove other code.
Okay.
Okay. So we have a nested object over here, correct?
Okay.
So I want to get all the keys and all the values in two separate array. So you can create a two for loop, or you can use some of the objects method, that is also fine. But I want A, B, C, D, E in one array and 1, 2, 3 in one array.
Okay. Got it. So this is a nested object. So maybe I can use the for in. Um, for in nested object case. Okay. For in means it will be working with the index, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Only AB I'm getting. Okay. So if type of key object. Mm, object then string. Okay, I need to access the p value. So this b is also considered as object. Sorry, string. So you need it like this, no? A equal to 1, then
No,
uh, b equal to,
only keys.
oh, only keys, all keys alone.
Yeah. So
Okay.
one array A, B, C, D, E.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that would be a keys array, and then second will be the values array, 1, 2, 3.
Two arrays. Okay. This is a string, and this is not a string.
If you want to Google for that, that is also fine. Typo.
Type of. Instead of. Okay, this is an object, not an array. It's a string. You said I can Google it?
Yes.
Okay.
Just don't do ChatGPT.
Sure, sure. Instead of objects. So here I have main alternate. Okay. Okay, object dot keys of, then we are passing the object and type of first object, then again another key. It's not of type of object. Okay, type of.
So let me just give you some background of it so you can try later. So we have object dot values and object dot keys methods. Okay,
Yeah, this one.
so that probably not this one. So
Here it is.
probably he is also using kind of something. So here the key, whatever you are getting, correct key to.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to compare is it object or not. If it is object, then again you have to find the keys inside that kind of
Again.
later.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
That's fine, but try this kind of the one of the example over there. The objects method will be getting clear. So you can search objects method on the Google, so you will get too many objects methods,
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
and probably you can check the MDN website, so you'll find everything over there.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
No.
okay, that's fine. So have you used generators in your projects anywhere? Means, do you know anything about it?
No generators. No.
Okay, set operators.
Set. I have not used in my project, but I have seen it like set of some value that setting a value. No.
No.
Uh, like set of is actually a map kind of thing. Key value pairs, like it's a one of a kind, right? Set
I
of.
asked you to duplicate, remove the duplicates from the array.
Yes, yes. To duplicate. Yeah, correct. In arrays. Yes, yes.
Okay. So kind of that. Okay. So
Okay.
it gives you a stream of the data kind of something in the system. Okay. From
Okay.
that, you can get the data with the help of the rest operator or something. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So in JavaScript, what is a blocking function? Any idea? Blocking.
Blocking. Blocking function means anything between two curly braces is a block.
No.
Is that what you're asking?
I'm asking blocking function. Okay, let me write down some code here in another code. That, oh, you can go to that another link.
Okay.
Suppose I have one function. Let's see function ABC. Okay, and this function returns something to us. Okay, when we call it.
Okay. Is it
Okay.
like conflict function is called again?
No. Suppose it is calling one function API and it is giving you a return as data. Okay. So now when you call this function,
Hmm.
you set let result equal to this. Okay. So when
Okay.
you write down this code, okay, so you're calling one API. Okay.
Hmm.
So in this case, what do you think? What we have to use to get the data from the backend properly and set it value once it get completed ABC. So what
Hmm.
you have to do in this code?
So we'll fetch that that HTTP API call and get the response and return that API. That response that we'll store it in the response, right? Or as a promise, we'll use a promise, and once that emits, then we'll store the result in the this line.
Yep, not that only. So how that will work?
No, this is just returning an URL API or
It's an API. It is returning your data. Okay.
your okay.
Yep. So how you will make sure that that function getting called? Then only you will set the value to the result. Line number 31. See.
You're asking how to ensure this method is getting called, uh,
Yep.
right?
It's already getting called. Okay. We are calling at line number 31.
Like
Okay.
31. Yes. Okay.
Okay. So I want to make sure that this API should get called first, then it should return have something in the data, then only it set the value to res.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Otherwise
Okay.
what will happen, it will come one by one line, it get called, as soon as it come out of the block it sets the value undefined or something, or expression error or something. Okay, so I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to make sure that our function should get completed, then only it should assign the value to the res. So
Okay. In that case, we can use that async functionality with await keyword. Await keyword will wait for the it'll wait for the the function to return something. Then we can store it. No.
how can you write down the syntax for that, where you will
Uh,
think of it?
so function probably here I think await
Oh,
and
it is
this
async.
will be function.
There you have to write async.
Okay. Okay. Sync and await.
Okay.
No, await should
Wait,
be
where we'll write.
it should be inside. I think await should be inside the sync function. No, return
Hmm.
something where we trigger the API call or waiting for a response. There will uh,
Okay.
in front of that we'll write the await.
Okay. Now, okay. So if I print console dot log 5, okay.
Okay.
So suppose this API is returning the data, okay. You'll get the data over here and you're calling here like this, okay. So,
Okay.
okay, just do like this. This should be 1, this should be 2, this should be 3. So give me the order now. So what will be, it will print. Just type below. So what will be the order of the execution now?
Okay, since JavaScript is a single-threaded, the flow is like synchronous, and since we are using ASIC functionality and the wait here we are calling it. This is async functionality. So probably once it's awaits and waiting for a response, then it will move proceed.
Can you zoom your screen little bit? Just do control.
Is it fine?
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Oh, okay. So we are calling this ABC function. So one gets printed first, then um, this is asynchronous. So this probably can wait. Again, is this order correct?
No, you have to explain me. Back to
Okay.
that.
Fine, fine. So since so we are calling this method here at this line 32, and we are inside this function, the first console log gets printed here,
Hmm.
and we are awaiting for a response here. So I think it will wait till the next statement will wait, I guess, to wait for it to complete. So meanwhile, this gets executed three, and
No,
then
wait,
the
wait now. Now wait. So you are
yeah,
blocking your execution at line number 28. Okay.
yes, correct.
So how it will come directly line 33? Because you are blocking your call stack over there.
Okay, the entire thread gets then wait. Uh,
So you'll get
in
one.
that case, one, two, and three.
Yep. So
Okay, so first one, then once it is complete, then two. Okay, okay, yeah, got it, got
because
it.
when you call, you can try to do this because I have just created kind of the example. I'm also not sure about execution of this, but I know that it will work like this only because
Ah,
it
okay.
block you at line number 28. Okay. As soon as you get the data, it will go to the next line. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Okay,
RES will assign. Okay. Then it will come to the line number 33.
33.
I'll
Okay,
create this example, okay, for you and test it once.
okay, okay. This is a blocking function, right? Okay,
Yep. You can say async await or that what we call them asynchronous functions.
first things. Okay.
Okay. So as we talk about async await, so we have a promise as well, correct?
Yes.
So we have two methods, reject and resolve.
Okay.
Okay. So if it is resolved, then how can I get the data from promise?
No, I didn't get the question. So we have resolve and reject in
Correct. Okay.
promise. Okay,
So your promise get resolved. Okay.
okay,
And I want to get the data from that resolved. I'm returning something 10.
okay.
So how can I get the value from promise?
So using the dot then method, is it the after
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
execution? Okay, okay.
And what about rejected?
Reject, I haven't used it. I haven't seen it actually.
You will get an error. So in that error, you get to catch up.
Okay, okay. When I was reading about the promise, I learned only the dot then and then resolve functions.
Okay.
Reject, yeah, reject, I'll note it down. Yeah.
That's fine. Okay. So what is web workers?
What? Wave workers.
Web workers.
No, not heard about this.
Okay.
Workers.
So you're not created any web workers or kind of example which runs in the background or something.
No.
Okay. Check that as well. Okay. It's
Okay, wave workers.
yeah.
Fine.
Okay. And what about web storage?
Web storage, I mean the session storage and local storage?
Hmm.
Yeah, local storage, we can use it for temporary storage like any like that is that we need like user login, whether a user is logged in or not though, so that kind of state also we can, for that, to store that we can use a local storage and session storage.
Okay. And what is difference between both then?
Session storage is like one, I think once we close the tab, then the session gets closed, the data will be lost. But local storage, till the browser is not closed, I think it will still be there, I guess, local storage.
Okay. And how can I remove from something from the session storage and local storage?
um, like to get the data we'll use some method like dot get or something. So probably to remove, maybe a dot remove or dot delete functionality will be there, I guess. I am not sure, I'm just guessing.
Okay. Okay. That we use dot remove.
Dot remove, okay.
Okay. Okay. So we'll move to Angular now. Okay. So
Okay.
as we do, you have more experience in Angular, so we'll talk about more Angular now. Okay. So okay. So what version you're working right now in Angular?
In our project, it is Angular 9, but yeah, learning the new features from the latest versions also,
Okay. And what are those?
like um, signals, then inbuilt new control flow, then deferrable views and standalone components,
Okay.
and what else?
So, okay, so we'll go one by one then. So,
Okay.
first, what is standalone components? Then, what is the use
Yeah.
of that, first of all? Why they have been introduced that? What do you think?
Um, so first of all, standalone component is like it won't be part of any module. It will be a separate standalone that we can reuse anywhere in the project in our application. So the main advantage I would say is uh, uh, in ng module we provide all the services, right, providers, all these things. Suppose in case if any providers that we already added in the ng module, if you're not using it, in the tree shakeable won't be happening. For that, to avoid that, we can use that at the rate injectable. There we can provide the provider in as root. So in that case, tree shakeable will work. But there may be cases like if ng modules has providers, if you're not using, means it will be the bundle size will be unnecessary, having the size, extra size. So if we are using a standalone component, whatever the modules or whatever the directives that we want to use inside the standalone component will be importing there. So it will be completely independent. It won't be dependent on whatever the dependencies that we want for that particular component will be all importing in uh, the property there at the red component decorator inside itself.
Okay.
And
Yeah, good.
also if we have, there are some parent child relationship, right? If a root module will have other modules, and if we have a standalone component, so irrespective of the relationship of the modules or any component, we can directly import it and use it in the any components, any ng module components, or we can use the other, uh, we can use one standalone component and another standalone component. It's also that also we can do by importing it.
Okay. And what about then routing?
Routing, okay, in case of modules, we use it for root, root router dot for root, that will add it there. But standalone components, there won't be any modules. Uh, yeah, when we create an latest version of Angular like 18 or 17, in that main dot, along with that main dot ts file, there is one more config file also. It gets created there. That app config is, it will have that provider route. It will have that app config routes there. But we can directly give it in the main dot ts itself. When we bootstrap application, we'll provide the root component that we provide there. After that, we can add an object, then providers, then we'll add the routes there. We should also be declaring the routes in the same empty main.ts file. So there we can add it.
Okay. So, how can I load a component lazily?
Component.
Yeah.
Okay, so in case of standalone components, um, we'll use that load component in the routes
Hmm.
variable, where when we mention the path and everything, right? So there we will provide the load component, then the arrow function will, then we'll import the module, sorry, import the component and provide the component name there.
Okay. Any other thing about it?
Other Any other way to load the component lazily?
No,
Yeah,
no,
using the sorry, go ahead.
no, no, no. Tell me, what is the other way to load component list?
Other way, like the deferrable views is kind of a lazy loading for me, because that's whatever we give inside the deferral, if we give some condition like on viewport or on win condition or on timer, or like any trigger event, or mouse over or anything, these many functions they have given. So there we can uh, actually use that particular section. Maybe we can entire component itself we can put there. So based on the condition we give inside the deferrable on viewport or on when condition or something, so at that time also the chunks get loaded only based on the condition there. So that is also kind of a lazy loading uh,
That is lazy loading for your DOM, that
DOM. Yes,
component.
component.
See, as long as your component is not loaded into the DOM, okay, means in the
Hmm.
browser, your lazy defer loading also not gonna work.
Correct, correct. Yeah, 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 yeah. That also would work.
Yeah, so first we have to lazily load a component, then it will go for a defer loading and all.
Defer loading. Yes. The other way I would think is by loading the component dynamically using the view container ref, and then we can load it. We
Okay.
can just add it
Mhm.
dynamically. We can instead of using the selector in the HTML template in the TS file, we can load it using the view container ref based on some conditions.
Okay. So have you worked on the Angular material?
No, but want to learn it actually, Angular material, because in many articles and many Angular official videos and all, they are using the Angular material instead of Bootstrap. So I want to learn it. I
Okay.
need to
So you mostly work with the material or sorry, boots.
Bootstrap.
Okay. Okay. So check that as well because kind of that is
Uh-huh.
one thing.
Material.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So in Angular.json,
Mm-hmm.
so okay, so tell me first, what are the things over there in Angular.json? Means what do you know about it? So what are the configurations for application we have over there?
Angular.json is like it contains like mostly the configuration for the Angular application itself. The like to compile or to build, those details will be sorry, those details will be there in the Angular.json file. Uh, the TypeScript that we want to, no, not the TypeScript, that is TS config. Yeah, mostly Angular related specific configurations will be added in the Angular.json file.
Okay. So when you do ng serve or ng build,
Hmm.
so what does it mean? Means I'm not asking that it will build the application and it will create a dist folder. So how
Okay.
the your application knows that I want to serve this application now and I want to build these files now. So how that happens? That is what I was asking you.
Internally, how what it's doing, you're
Yeah.
asking.
So who tells that serve means and who tells it what is build?
um, I think in the Angular.json file only it will be
Yeah.
configured, I guess.
So that's why I asked
Yes,
you.
yeah, correct.
Yeah. So over
Now I
there,
got it.
same for ng test. Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
So
okay.
we do right over there. Okay. Okay. So let's move to the next topic for this. So what is signal then? So what do you think? Why they have introduced signals?
uh, I think slowly Angular is moving, away from. They're trying to avoid the Zone.js for the to avoid much change reduction life cycle, because when the Angular started from the 2 version and all, so it was really good. Like they're using the Zone.js for all the change reductions. So we developers, we don't need to make not much worry about any the uh, tracking or maintaining the state of a variable. So if there are some 50 components are there, if one of the component, if I'm updating one behavioral subject or any value in any component, I can just subscribe to it and will know the latest value there. So in signals, we don't need to um, I think signals not using the Zone.js internally. They signals are using the Angular's internal API to avoid the Zone.js one. So I think that's why it's for it's implemented, I guess. And you want me to explain about how to get or update or working with the signals?
No, that's fine. We
Okay.
create a signal and we get a value from that like we call a function, correct?
Yeah, correct. Or call a function we need to add.
Okay, that's fine. Then what is computated?
Computated signals are a kind of a signal, but that is derived from another signal values.
Mhm.
It's a read only, and we won't be able to directly assign any values to computed signals.
And when it get called?
Yeah, whenever any one of the signals that we are using inside the computed signal
Mhm.
gets changed, it will be notified immediately, and the values also get immediately updated.
Okay, so if we are using signals, so we don't have to write a change detection and all anywhere in the code. Do you think that?
um, no, I think no. If I um, suppose for a simple add function, if I'm using a signal and one of the input variable one signal, if I'm changing it, yeah, correct, I don't need to inside the same component we don't need to, but if we want to in another components
Put,
or anything, if you want to use, we can use the effects, like if you want to log something or if you want to do other logic when it gets changed, then we can use the effects inside the for signals. And also there is a rule like we should not modify any signal values inside effects, because then it'll cause an infinite loop.
yeah. Okay. So you might heard about the pure pipe and impure pipe.
Yes.
So what is okay? So what is impure pipe first? What is built-in
Impure,
impure pipe? You do you know?
async is impure pipe,
Mm-hmm.
and impure pipes are like in the Angular JS by default all the pipes were impure, but in later in from Angular 2 they made the default all the inbuilt pipes as the pure except the async, because impure pipes are kind of expensive. Expensive, I meant with respect to performance. So when any, even though if there is no change in that particular the value that we are using, that we are trying to transform, if there is no change in that particular value, if any change reduction happens in any of the ng model variable or anything, then still this async pipe, not the async pipe, the impure pipes will get triggered uh, unnecessarily. So that's a performance issue.
Okay. So to avoid that, what do you think? What should be the things we have to use?
um, by default now in pure the pipes are pure. Actually, if you want to change it, we can mark it as pure, the is pure, or some property that we can assign as a false based on our requirement. If it has to be checked in due to the change reduction cycle and other values, then we can do it. I didn't get your question correctly. If you want to avoid as async pipe or avoid the
Yeah, I want to avoid async pipe kind of scenarios.
oh, avoid async pipe, okay. We can use the, we can, instead of using async pipe, we can avoid it and use, write that subscribe function in the
Yeah, yeah,
ts file.
that's fine. That's fine. My question was something little bit different, so that's fine. You might been already answered that kind of thing.
Okay, okay.
Okay, okay. So you might heard about the track by in Angular.
Yes.
So when we use it and why we use it.
Suppose I have a grid in the view, a table which has around pagination is like some 20, 30 page-oriented rows are there, that grid. And suppose if any one of the values or any row ID or anything gets updated, means it will take some time to re-render in the UI.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, because for a grid means obviously we'll be using the for loop
Hmm.
inside that. So in the template ng4. So in order to um, make the performance faster, we can pass if, suppose if you want to track on the id, then we can create a separate function, then we can use it in the track by uh, directive and call that function. So inside that function we can pass the index and the complete the reference of that particular element. If you want to, the reference means I meant the id. For loop we'll be using that let for, sorry, user of some users, right? So that user dot id we need to pass it there. So based on that value, whatever, if you want to directly relative to the track on the ID, then we can give us a return user.id. So the performance will be faster if the value gets changed in the big data in the UI.
Okay. Okay, so let's move to the some of the other questions related to not to Angular. It's architecture kind of. So,
Okay.
have you heard about monorepo and macro frontend?
Monorepo and macro content. No, haven't heard of
Macro frontend, not a content.
macro content. No, no.
Okay. So, okay. And what about Angular library? Have you used it somewhere or have you created? We can create our own Angular library, correct? Inside that, you can place your components and you can use those components kind of.
Okay, like yeah, in our project, ours is in our application is like a small one of the menu options. Our entire project is one of the menu options. But yes, I understand what you're asking because we use the uh, that whole the parent Angular's library if because they give all the drop downs or anything if they want if we want to use the grid or something they will provide all the libraries that is actually created in their parent project Angular project, so it will be embedded actually
No, I am
the
not asking that. I'm saying that you can create your own library. So
library.
if I do npm install Vignesh,
Mm-hmm.
so what will
Ah, okay,
happen?
that can, yeah, we should be able to, but yeah, I know we can,
So,
but I have never tried it.
no, no, I'm not asking you in the project. So do you know or not that? So that is what the question was.
No, 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 no,
Yes.
I know
So
we can do it, but I'm not sure how we can do it.
yeah, so try it. Create your small component in one of the library and try to use and publish it to the npm. So at least you will
Okay.
understand how can we publish our own package to the npm. How can we use it when you publish it? So how can increase the version of it and all.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay, okay,
will
okay.
be a kind of the POC for you. Then again, micro frontend and monorepo as well. Okay,
Okay,
so
macro front and mono repo.
yeah, so read about those as well.
Okay, sure.
And these are latest things, correct? Signals and also go through those as well, okay? Because those are
Mm-hmm.
the future for Angular now.
Yes, yes.
Because the coding we have been writing right now, since it is gonna be change everything.
Okay, yeah.
So mostly, I think I have covered kind of the questions related to Angular. I don't wanted to ask you life cycle and all those things. So at your experience, I don't wanted to ask you those kind of things. What is ng on init? What is constructor and all? How can we inject a service? So as per your experience, those are considerable.
Yeah, those I know. The basics I know.
Yeah, so that's why I have not gone through those.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so that's why I have been focused. I have written down these questions for you. So somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what only 10 or 11 question I was having for your experience. So that's why I was asking this. Okay, so I think I have covered a couple of questions for you. So any question do you have? Then we can discuss on that as well.
Um, yeah, I noted down the this thing, the promise rejects, the wave workers, and then session storage, those things. Angular material, I need to
Yeah.
start working on it. Then macro front end, monorepo, then creating a library. Yeah, this in the Angular.
Yeah. So if you have time, then try to do just POC for you. So at least you will understand the things properly.
Yeah. Okay. 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 And okay, I think so what do you think about, like, I wanted to evaluate myself, like how good I am with Angular, so
Angular, I would say
I
that
want to.
Angular is fine, but the concept those are related to subject, passing the data, getting the data, some of
Mm-hmm.
the corner questions. So if I update some of something in the child, then is it gonna update in the parent? Such kind of
Mm-hmm.
questions. Try to practice those. Okay.
Okay,
And
okay.
this question which I asked you might be gonna ask because if someone company are using micro frontend or monorepo, so they will
Mm-hmm.
find the person who knows little bit about it. So it will be easy for him to start in that company or project. So
Oh, okay.
that's why I asked you these questions.
Oh,
And
okay.
about JavaScript, I would say that read the things in the little bit in the depth, the way
Okay.
then arrow function we talked about, correct?
Yes, yes, yes.
Those things you have to read in the thoroughly. So
Yeah.
see, we know the concept, but the theoretical answer we sometimes we don't know. So that's the problem happened every time.
Yeah, JavaScript, I know that I'm not,
Yeah,
but there are many
so
things to cover in JavaScript
yeah, but
only.
try, give a try for a week or something. So at least figure out what you don't know and how you can
Mhm.
overcome. So that will be a single time process for you. Once you know the concept, then that's fine. So it will be easy for you because JavaScript is the something that we have to know.
Okay, it's a basic kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So as a front end developer, everyone should expect from us. So